What's going on, people? Jada Black here, back with another video. Shout out to everybody that is tuning in. I want to talk about Brie Larson and the interesting promo tour that she's been doing, and how she is out there basically throwing white males under the bus. Now, am I outraged by this? No, because I'm not a white male. But there are white male content creators who are very upset about this. And I understand it, because you got black women who will throw black men under the bus, and I've spoken about that. Why? Because that negatively affects me. Now, I want to say this. I'm not the biggest fan of Brie Larson. I did somewhat like her character in the Kong movie, Kong Skull Island movie. But just by looking at the trailers for Captain Marvel, I am really not that interested or invested. The only thing that would make me go see the film is Samuel L. Jackson. I'm a fan of Samuel L. Jackson. He's one of my favorite actors. And he basically, he can make something average, above average to good based off of his acting ability alone and his star power. That is why he's not only featured heavily in the trailers, but he's in this film. They picked him for a reason, you know, to make up for the deficiencies that Brie Larson has. Now, maybe Brie Larson is a lot more suited to a different genre of movies, more dramatic, maybe. But for Captain Marvel, I'm just not seeing it. Now, does she have the look, the blonde hair, blue-eyed, you know, white female? Yeah, but she does not have the facial expressions. And when you are a female action hero or star, you have to have facial expressions that can be for both feminine and can sort of be on the masculine level. I would say the woman that portrayed it the best was Lucy Lawless when she portrayed Xena Warrior Princess in the 90s. She had the feminine look, but she can portray the badass female role. Okay, she could switch back and forth. Brie Larson, on the other hand, she's not the best when it comes to expressions, especially in the Captain Marvel trailers. This is why she has been getting the flack that she's been getting. This is why I have not even been interested in seeing the subsequent trailers since the first or second one. They've been putting out some shorts, trailers. I have not been interested in seeing any of them. You know, I may still go see Captain Marvel because I do like spring films. I like to go to the movies a lot during the springtime because a lot of good movies are in April and May. So I may still go see it. I don't know. It just depends on if the trailers get better. Maybe if they play one more, if they put out one more that is a complete trailer that her facial expression are different. I don't know. But anyway, enough of the review of the trailers. You know, the thing about Brie Larson is that she is one of these typical white female liberals who talks down on the same people that she communicates with. She is a part of the white community, whether she wants to accept it or not. And her throwing white males under the bus, not wanting to be interviewed by white males, it just shows you the feminist mindset of women in Hollywood. You know, they're riding a high based off of the men that they've been able to get fired from jobs, arrested, publicly shamed. And they're riding a high right now. And I told y'all, there is basically a civil war for power in the white community, no pun intended. You got white women who will still marry and date white men, just like Brie Larson, but they want more power in the relationship dynamics. They want more power. They're greedy. So they're going to throw white men on the bus in order to keep themselves from being targeted in the media when it comes to white privilege. You see, white women want people to believe that only white males get white privilege. And we know that, you know, if there's a such thing as white privilege, they're going to be benefiting from it too. They even benefit from affirmative action. Go look at the picture that the HuffPost Huffington Post put out of their editorial staff. That tells you everything you need to know about these particular females like Brie Larson. They're hypocrites. They only look for diversity to elevate themselves. They don't seek to elevate anybody else. And if they do, it's only one or two women of quote unquote color. But these women are complete hypocrites. How can you sit up there and say the thing that you're saying about white males, but that's who you date, Brie Larson? You've never been in a relationship with a brother, at least publicly. You don't have any black friends. You got maybe a token black friend you talk to every now and then publicly. But you have women like this who are complete nutcases. They are complete hypocrites. They're drunk on their own public power. She's Captain Marvel. So because she's Captain Marvel, she feels like she has to portray a Captain Social Justice type of persona. And I hope Kevin Feige reins her in and lets her know that she's ruining the projected sales of his films, because a lot of the fans of the Marvel films are white males, because a lot of them are comic book fans. You're not going to get black people to go and do for your movie what they did for Black Panther just because you're calling out white males. That's not going to happen, Brie. You are delusional, just like most of those white liberal feminist women in Hollywood. They're delusional. You're delusional. They're delusional. They want to hide behind white males and say they're the problem when they are the main problems. They are the main problem. They're the ones stealing opportunities from other people. Whenever a business or a company is having a PR crisis when it comes to women, maybe there was sexual harassment in the workplace, somebody gets fired, they always put a woman in their place. And it's usually a white woman. You know why? Because white women want those opportunities. They want more power in the white community. So they will throw white men on the bus to a certain extent, but they will still marry them. They will still have children with them, and they will still vote for them, i.e. Donald Trump. So don't let this rhetoric make y'all believe that she's woke. There's nothing woke about blue-eyed, blonde-haired Brie Larson, a woman who probably calls black people colored, well, around her friends, but then wants to talk about how everybody else is the problem except her. There's nothing about her that's diverse. She got the thing about a lot of celebrities like this is they have this fake woke approach. And they think that that's going to get them brownie points or a pat on the back. Brie Larson, black people don't care what you got to say about white males. We just don't care. And if this movie flops, they're going to blame you. They're going to come down hard on you. Now you got the weak, effeminate media. And I call it effeminate because you got a lot of males in the media who will cape for Brie Larson and say, oh, there's nothing wrong with her comments. I agree with her. You're hating on her because she's a woman leading a movie, even though I liked Wonder Woman. I think Gal Gadot is not only an attractive woman, but she seemed like a very genuine woman. It's a shame that she's in Hollywood because Hollywood has a way of changing people. But anyway, the character she portrayed in the film is pretty much who she is. But she did, on her promo tour, even the female director of Wonder Woman did not want to go that far into the feminist lane. She basically wanted to make a film, and she wanted to be a female director who was able to direct a film that she has always wanted to direct. It had nothing to do with feminism and pushing a narrative. It had everything to do with her wanting to get an opportunity to prove herself. And she did. But in this movie, you got a female director who is full on, this is feminist. We're putting it in your face. Ha ha ha. How is that going to work if the film not only is bad, but ticket sales don't go well because the ticket sale projections are diminishing. It went from being over 100 million to being less than 100 million to being down to about 80 million. Kevin Feige, you can't afford for this movie to be a flop. So you need to rein Brie Larson in, but I think it may be too late. The damage is already done. You have content creators who are making multiple videos calling out Brie Larson, man, and they have huge followings, man. The damage is done. The media hyped up Black Panther, but the cast of the film did not disrespect anybody. They did not go full social justice. They didn't need to. But you got Brie Larson, who's one of those people, okay, who feels like, who's really drunk on her own opportunities as being Captain Marvel. But if this movie doesn't do well, this is not going to look well for Kevin Feige, who signed her to a multiple picture deal that you're going to have a female who's basically going to be hated by the fans of the MCU in all these different films. Especially if the main film flopped. But I could already see that if the main film flopped, they're going to get a male director, somebody who's has a completely different way of doing things. Doesn't mean they're not, social justice. They're not liberals. It just means that they have a different way of promoting and pushing films. I think Brie Larson is an idiot, and I think she's very smug, and she does not believe that she does not believe this film is going to fail because it's a Marvel film. What she has to understand is that you get enough people to talk about the dumb things that you're saying, people are going to shy away from seeing it. And if the movie is bad, they're going to tear into it. So y'all let me know in the comment section below, and let me know your thoughts.